Joe Bob, and I want to welcome you to the Joe Bob World Famous Drive-In Theater here on the Movie Channel. Thank you. I got to calm down here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to introduce this movie or not. I got to get hold of myself. All right. Okay. Maybe I can go on now. Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre III has a few problems. Now, one, the movie doesn't make a lick of sense. Of course, this has never stopped us on drive-in theater up to now, but it's got more problems than that. Two, a guy gets chainsawed through the skull and then he comes back later in the movie with only slight injuries. I mean, they don't even do this in Friday the 13th movies. And normally I wouldn't even mention Friday the 13th and Saw in the same breath, but I'm afraid they have brought it down to that level. Number three, the movie is over so fast that you can't hardly believe it. You think the film broke or something. Four, they made it in California. Five, it even looks like they made it in California. They've got hills in the background. Six, you never even see Leatherface do any actual carving. But even if these were the only things wrong with this movie, I got to mention one thing that happens right at the first that is completely unforgivable. I'm sorry, but Kate Hodge, the new actress who's trying to replace the greatest screamer in film history, Marilyn Burns from the first movie, Kate Hodge runs over an armadillo in the road. And then she stops to see if the armadillo is okay. Obviously, these people have never been to Texas. Now, I know what the producer and the director and everybody's going to say. They're going to say that it used to be a good movie, but then the Motion Picture Censor Board got on their case and gave it an X rating, and they had to take a chainsaw to the movie, and what came out was different. And it's true, the Jack Valenti boys hammered away at this baby, evidently demanding stuff be taken out that they allowed in the first movie in 1974. Now, I don't exactly understand what's happening here, but I know that during the past 2 years, these bozos in LA have decided to crack down on horror movies. They want movies about nice cannibals. They want cannibals that carve up tourists in loving ways. But see, what I'm getting at is that the owners of this movie, they had a choice. They could say, we don't give a flying for holy what the MPAA Censor Board says, and so we're putting out the movie without any rating on it. Or they could weenie out, cut it into 1,000,000 pieces and release it with an R. They weenied out on us, they suckered us for $5, they profaned the name of the most revered horror movie in film history. Now, I'm not saying it's all bad. I mean, there's some gall-dang scary stuff in it, but I'm going to have to go somewhere else while y'all watch it, because I can't bear to think of this thing going out on the airwaves, turning the chainsaw that we all know and love into a steak knife. 9 dead bodies, no breasts, no soul. You know, that's what they took out. They took the soul out of the saw. Go ahead, run the flick, but I got to go. I don't want to cry in public. I'm sorry. I'm all right. A few good things in it, but at the end you go, huh? That guy's alive? The one that got his head chainsawed in half, please. I mean, could you figure it out? Wasn't that little girl about to do something extremely nasty and then they cut that scene? Wasn't she about to carve up the whiny yuppie guy? I can't figure it out. Shame on you people. Okay, next week we have One Man Force, starring the late John Matusak as a cop who decides to kill all the drug dealers in the world. They blow up a whole bunch of stuff in it. You'll enjoy it. And right now it's time for Joe Bob's Advice to the Hopeless, the old drive-in mailbag. And our letter comes from Adam Stern of Armonk, New York. And he says, Dear Joe Bob, did I hear you correctly when you said you don't pick the movies? Have the retards at the movie channel been hanging out with the mayor of D.C. and smoking crack? Hiring you and not letting you pick the movies, that's like putting Tracy Lords in a porn movie and not letting her do any sex scenes. I know you'll never be able to host a George Romero zombie festival on TMC or something of the sort, but in all honesty, 1/3 of the time I don't even watch the movie, I just watch you. The only reason I got the movie channel and the 37 channels that go with it is to watch drive-in theater. So come on, make some demands of those Tom Cruise-loving losers who run your stinking channel. At the very least, get a microwave out of them. Okay, yes, Adam, you heard me correctly. I am being held prisoner by the programming department. They hired a few new LA guys last year that are doing a much better job. listening to me a little bit more, but we can use all the outraged fan letters you can muster asking these guys to liberate Joe Bob. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I can't tell you how important February the 9th is. We are showing Evil Dead that night, the zombie classic, in its original uncut form. It is very grisly, and as you know, it is intense. If this works, others might follow. They have agreed to show Frankenhooker. They've agreed to show Basket Case 2. As you know, for years I've wanted them to show I Spit on Your Grave. So far they still say no way Jose Bob Briggs on that one. But I've been hammering on them for 3 years and they are finally starting to react to me. I appreciate the support. Pour some more letters in on us. It helps a lot. If you write to me, I'll send you a copy of my world-famous We Are the Weird newsletter and tell you how you can get a bunch of free junk. So write to the Movie Channel mailbox, P.O. Box 1264, Radio City Station, New York, New York 10101. Or you can call up my comedy line, 1-900-4-JOE-BOB, and leave your name and address on my answering machine. That's 1-900-4-JOE-BOB, $1.50 for the first minute, 75 cents each additional, and that's it for that. So, until we meet again, as Roy Rogers always used to say, when you march in the parade of life, never walk behind trigger, and the drive-in will never die.